G'day folks, introducing a new series called Bandage Cube Creations. Now this series has been in the works in my head for a number of years, and I even made a few videos for it 3-4 years ago, maybe even more than that, and then decided, what was I doing? And then recently I spent some time and come up with what you may have seen, a Excel file that I've released that contains all the currently known bandage, or currently presented I should say, bandaged puzzles from the 3x3 kit, 200 and something of them at the moment. I made that available and I've done a help video for that. So if you haven't seen that, have a look at it. I'll leave a link in the description here. But one of the reasons I wanted to do that was to help get a handle on solving bandage cubes. And the reason for this series is that I want to just go through whatever bandage cubes I feel like going through. I am coming at this from the point of view of someone who is not good at solving bandage cubes. Now, I should qualify that. A crazy puzzle, crazy Jupiter, crazy Neptune, all those sort of things, they are technically bandage cubes, and I am pretty good at solving them. So when I say I'm not good at solving bandage cubes, I'm talking about this sort of thing here. This is not a natural thing for me to be able to do. And so I'm really challenging myself here as well. If you are a genius bandage cube solver, you may not find this super useful. If you're like me, just an average solver, hopefully you will. And what I want to approach it from is this, is saying I want simple solves. I want the goal to be solving these things using the fewest algorithms, the simplest algorithms. In other words, if I can do it using things like, I'll find two faces here, maybe, that sort of thing. That's what I'm going to use. If I can do it solving a corner piece series, which is pretty straightforward, that's what I'm going to use. And of course, I'm going to have to use sune left-hand side, whatever you call it. That is the thing that I would say is assumed knowledge for this series. You need to know the 1-1 commutator, you need to know the 3-1 commutator, and you need to know how to use sune. That's it. Now, I am not saying that if I can't solve a puzzle with those things, I won't solve it. What I'm saying is I'm going to start trying to use those things and do everything we can to just use those simple algorithms and try and get the job done. I'm not interested in speed solving. I'm not interested in solving with some bizarrely long 60-move algorithm. Although, if that's what it takes and I can find it, that's what we'll do. So I hope that makes sense as to the approach that I'm taking here. It's all about learning to solve bandage cubes better. And it's about really, if I'm going to be brutally honest, for me, it's about leading up to being able to solve the bicube. That is my nemesis, along with the crazy tetrahedron Uranus. But let's forget that. That seems very, very distant. The bicube, such a difficult cube for me. And I know it's not the most difficult one. There are others more difficult, but I kind of figure that's the goal that I've got to have. So I will be working up to try and get my head around that. Initially, I'm going to start off with some pretty straightforward puzzles. And so you may think, what's he doing this for? Because this is not about being geniuses. This is about learning what things do what. In other words, what does this do, this slice here? What does it do to the solve of the cube? What does this mean if I've got a clock and a pair as opposed to, let's say, a clock here, but a pair there? How does the angle of the pieces affect the solve? All sort of things like that. I'm pretty excited about this. I hope you are too. And the way it's going to work is each video I'm going to do a solve of a puzzle. And then at the end of that video, I'm going to show you the cube for the next video. So let's say the first puzzle is the AA cube. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to finish that, and I'm going to say, here's the BB cube for next video. And so what that means is you can set it up with your cube twist kit. You can have a play with it, see how you go to solve it, and a week later, or whatever it is, I will release that video, and you can compare notes. You can comment and say, hey, my solve was way better than yours, which I'm probably expecting. And there we go. That is the plan. It is not just for me to do solves, it's for you to play along. I did mention there the Cube Twist DIY kit. Here it is. This is actually parts of two kits here. If you haven't got one of these and you call yourself a solver, well, come on, get one. I released a blog post or a thing years ago on the best value twisty puzzle ever. And I was talking to my wife recently and she said, if you were stuck on a desert island, are you saying this is the one that you would take? And I had to think about it and go, you know what? It probably is, because there's just so many cubes you can make with it. So this is from Cube Twist Now store. Get it where you like. If you want to use the link in the description, go ahead. These are fantastic, fantastic value. If you don't have one, you really should. And if you don't have 5, you really should. So get a hold of them. Now let's introduce the first puzzle, which will appear in the first episode, which is not this one. This puzzle is called the Block Built Cube. And this was released by or presented by unknown. That means at this point in time, I don't know who did it. It's appeared on a Google Doc from Quador. And someone's made it, someone's presented it, but we don't really know who it was. So what does this thing have? The first thing, it's got a slice from red to green, a slice from right to back. So my standard color scheme always is going to be yellow up, blue front, red right, white down, orange left, green back. So that's how they're all going to be presented. So we've got a slice from red to green. We've got a pair from, this is front down to front down left, and I've got a clock down to down left. Now again, if you're interested in learning what am I talking about, slices, pairs, clocks, all of that is from the database that I have recently released, so I do encourage you to have a look at that as well. If I may say, it's pretty cool. All right, so there it is, the Block Built Cube. This is the intro to the Bandage Cube Creations series. It may go for 2 episodes or 200, I don't know. I know there are 3,500 and something possible bandage cubes we can make, so maybe it'll go for that many episodes. As it is, hope this makes sense. Any questions, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, see you soon for episode 1.